Well, hey, neighbor, it's me, Angie. Can't wait for you to drive up. Come on over. Yeah, you're going to hear some machinery back in the background. We have some guys over here trimming the tree in my neighbor's yard, which I did a video on it. I think one of the guys said, when he realized I was filming, he said, jokingly told the guy up in the bucket that was trimming the tree, "You're going to be on YouTube." Little does he know, yeah, he is going to be on YouTube. But anyway, it's time for our neighborhood chat. So when you drive up, you just get your drink out of the little refrigerator, or my door's open, go in the house. And I have snacks. I have some leftover jambalaya that James fixed yesterday. You're welcome to it. You know, you're welcome to just go to the kitchen and get what you want to drink and eat. Come back out here with your lawn chair, or how you pronounce it, and sit down, and we're just going to have a chat, our neighborhood chat. So today's neighborhood chat is going to be about, why do we daydream about how bad our life is and not dream big and think that we can overcome anything that we're going through? You know, I've found over my lifetime that I have just longed for the day that when I was going through something that I didn't really want to go through, that was causing me pain or discomfort, to hurry up and get over with. I was wanting it to stop. I didn't want to hurt anymore. I didn't want to go through the pain. I didn't want to have to deal with it. I was tired. I was out of strength. And then one day it was just gone. But if I hadn't have chose to get over it, climb over it, whatever I did, go through it, whatever you choose to do. You know, you can't just sit in it. Well, you can sit in it, but it's not healthy physically or mentally to sit in a situation for a long period of time when you can actually work through it, move around it, go over it, or whatever. You know, sometimes we get hit hard with a tragedy or a mistake we made or a choice we made that wasn't a very good choice, and we live in guilt, or we live in blaming someone else for the reason we feel the way we do, or we have a lot of anger toward the situation because we thought it was going to turn out a lot different than it actually turned out. You know, have you ever had that happen? You know, you go into a situation and you're expecting one outcome and you get another. You know, it's something that really frustrates me a lot is when I drive up somewhere and I'm ordering a meal and I don't like cheese on my burger, and they will put cheese on the burger. It infuriates me because I have took the time to say no cheese. Now, wouldn't that make it a cheeseburger? If I would have wanted a cheeseburger, I would have said cheeseburger, but I wanted a hamburger. So it's very disappointing for me when I order a certain thing and I get something else. And that's sort of like some of the situations we go through in life. We order one thing or we expect one thing, and when it gets delivered, it's something totally different. Now, as I've gotten older, when that happens to me, I try to think, okay, what am I supposed to learn out of this? What is the lesson that I'm supposed to get out of the mistake I made? Or, you know, sometimes you just get caught up in a situation where it's not even your fault, and you just reap the repercussions of a wrong that someone else has done, which is not fun. So how do we get over the pain of going through something that we never really wanted to go through in the first place? Well, you know, first of all, going through trials and pain causes us to stand up and pay attention and we're supposed to grow from it. You know, I've said that over and over again. We grow through pain. Pain causes us to mature. At least it should. You know, we shouldn't sit in it and be mad at it. Now, you take your time, have your moment, but don't plan on just staying in that feeling of anger, resentment, sadness. You want to get revenge on the person. You want to stay sad because truly you are the victim. Now, you have the victims. That's people that has something to happen to them that they have no control over. Like what happened to me being in a wheelchair. I had no control over this. So I'm a victim of this. But then there are times when we create a situation and we go through the pain of it and we're not the victim. Because anything that you have created that you go through that turns out to be bad, you can't say you're the victim. So a lot of times we want to portray the victim when we're not. Be careful about that. Some people love playing the victim. They create situations that they are actually want people to believe that they've been victimized and they have not. And then you have the people that really are the victims that never say a word about it. They keep it hidden inside. Now, when you're dealing with, or when I dealt with a painful situation, I never gave myself a certain amount of time before I would start coming out of the pain. I don't think there are days or weeks you can put on any kind of pain you go through. I don't think there's a set time. I think it depends on the individual and what they choose to do. You know, I knew this lady, and I think I've told this story before. She had a son to fall off the back of a truck, and he died. He was a teenager. He may have been 18 years old. This happened when I was a junior in high school, and it was her only child. Well, that happened in 1984. She must have passed away in 2000. I want to say 7, 8, maybe later. And she was still living in that moment of when her son passed away. She never got over it, which I don't judge her for that, because I don't know if I would be able to. But my point is, she stayed in that same place. She was still living back in 1984. She didn't even realize that time had went on. People had went on with their lives, had children. You know, it was just she and her mind was stuck in 1984. Well, when I'm in a situation of pain, I don't want to be stuck back in a certain time when time is moving. And you can't stop time because it's moving. We can't get back what happened yesterday, but time is moving. And if I get stuck feeling sorry for myself and this pain that I live in daily in a wheelchair, and the fact that if I get saddened by the fact that I can't walk and the things that I can't do, then I'm going to miss out on the days ahead that are going to be, that I have with my family, because they're going to move on and do things, and I'm going to be sitting there in my mind thinking about the day I got in a wheelchair, or the day I was diagnosed with this autoimmune disease, or the day I got my pacemaker. You know, if I was still living back then, I would not be able to appreciate the wonderful times that I've had with my family since that happened. When someone hurts us, for instance, And we just keep on remembering that in our mind, and it keeps on playing like this bad movie. And we waste time thinking about it. Then we're missing out on being in the moment, being present. Like today, I don't know, most of the time I wake up and I think about, what is this moment giving me? What am I supposed to do at this very moment? Yesterday was yesterday. I still remember the good times that we used to have when my children were at home, when they were growing up as children and teenagers. I still have those memories, and I still think of them sometimes and laugh and thank God that I was able to be there for my children and us to have a wonderful relationship. But now, time has gone on, and they're adults, and they are having children of their own. And I've got to get in and which I already have, the moment of they're adults and I have grandbabies. And I want to be a present grandparent. I want to be able to be there, be present, enjoy the moment. Not that I can't remember past days, but I want to be present. A lot of times we have to remember to be present in what's going on, because we're going to miss the little things and even some of the big things that happen. The laughing, the talking, the sharing. And when we have a devastation that happens in our life, because I know probably every one of you have had a time, or more than one time, that you can talk about being devastated that something happens. And I don't know if you feel this way, but when something devastating happens in your life, it's like you never look at things the same. It's like your whole vision changes. Your perception of how clear things become. Maybe someone passes away and you realize how short life can be. Or maybe you almost pass away and you realize how short life can be. And you don't take it for granted anymore. And then you see somebody that they don't even think they're going to ever pass away. I can remember in my 30s, I wasn't thinking about I was going to be in a wheelchair, and that I was going to be given 7 years to live if I didn't get my autoimmune disease under control. I never dreamed that. I thought I would be working to retirement, and kids would grow up, have grandbabies, and life would just be hunky-dory. And it didn't happen that way. I could resent it. I could be angry about it. I could be bitter about it. But I'm not going to be, because I want to enjoy every minute of every day I have, whether it be a pain-free day, because I do have those every once in a while. And when I say pain-free, I mean my pain level is probably a 4 or 5. Or my worst days when my pain level was off the chart. I'm going to pick something positive out of every day that I live. I'm going to try to be there for someone. I'm going to try to brighten someone's day. I'm going to try to be the light that someone can come in and say, that was refreshing. Not because I'm trying to be special or arrogant or say that I have something that you don't, but because I want to give you what I have, a peace of mind. Because when you have peace of mind, there's no other feeling like that. It's just everything is copacetic. Everything's fine. And you know it's going to be fine. No matter if you go through another trial, because we are. I'm not exempt from trials. I'm still going to go through them. I'm still going to have challenges. But my perception is, when I do reach that point, I don't want to stay in it as long as I used to in the past. Now, I can remember certain situations that I would stay depressed for weeks on end, months, even years about a tragedy that's happened in my life. And I can think about, boy, I hope that my children didn't realize that I really wasn't present every day when I was going through that pain. Because I wanted to be there and not miss a thing. Because when you have a child, and if you have a young child, let me tell you something, time flies. Before you know it, they'll be out on their own and gone, you know? So enjoy every moment with your children. Now I get to enjoy grandchildren. I'm in that stage of my life. I like this stage. I love my stage with my children, but I really love this stage. And your marriage is totally different once your children are out and married and have their own lives. You know, James and I, our marriage is totally different now than when we were raising our children. So when you go through something, remember and visualize yourself that you're on a journey and you're walking. And sometimes you have to make a pit stop. We all make pit stops. You may have to change your battery, or you may have to change your tires because your feet's wore out, or you may have to get yourself all fueled up to go another mile. But don't stay in the same place for too long, because you're going to be left behind. You're going to wake up one morning and everybody's going to be gone, and you're going to look around and say, wait a minute, I'm all by myself. Where did everybody go? But hey, if that happens, don't let that detour you from getting up and dusting yourself off and start walking again. And when you start walking again and allowing yourself to let other people come into your life and things that are positive, and you see, once you start walking and you remember where you were, you see how much you have grown and you matured. And the things that used to bother you don't bother you as much as they used to, or they shouldn't. You can always tell the immaturity of someone when they are acting like we used to act or be when we were in high school. So just remember, neighbor, always, always know that you are loved, cared about. You're stronger than you think you are. You're not abandoned. You have yourself. You know, you have you. And you have that little voice inside you that says, get up and move. You can do it. Listen to that voice. And you'll find people that will be there for you. You'll find your people. But just be willing to receive those people. And with that being said, neighbor, like, share, subscribe, ring that bell so you'll know the next time I'm coming to you with a video. And oh yeah, don't forget, I love you and there's nothing you can do about it. Comment. I know I got the tree people behind me. That video's coming up. Bye, neighbor.